On the economic transformation front now, South Africa's BBBEE model is one of the issues that remain contentious within the political discourse. It's also a debated matter once again in the lead-up to South Africans casting their votes on the 29th of this month. BBBEE Commissioner Tshediso Matona joins us now to look at progress made and where improvements are needed. A warm welcome to you, Matona. First, what can the public or the voter point to as successes of BBBEE today?
Thank you, and good evening to viewers. The legislation is 20 years old. Our democracy is 30 years old. 10 years later, after thorough research, comparison, benchmarking internationally on how you transform an economy so that it becomes more inclusive, the legislation was passed. Fast forward to today, at any given point in time, based on the reports we get as a commission from complying JSE-listed companies and state-owned companies and other reporting enterprises, at any given point in time, Black ownership of the economy is 30%, not much more than 30%. Women ownership is about less than half of that, 14 to 15%. Now, of course, in a situation where white people own upwards of 80% of the economy and yet are 7.3% of the economy, and Black people are 90% of the population, obviously you can see that there's still much further to go. But to suggest that BBBEE has failed is completely mischievous, completely untrue, because we have today Black people who are shareholders in the economy, in the JSE. We have Black people who are managers, even CEOs of big corporates. We have Black people who sit as directors of companies. We have Black small, medium enterprises who are suppliers to government through procurement and to the private sector. You even have, talking about broad-based, you even have employees who are given shares by their companies. One of the biggest retailer in the country has a very large employee share ownership as a scheme. So there is progress, definitely. Much more could be done, absolutely. And of course, as I reflect to the next 20 years, if we can double the numbers and ensure that at least 60% of the economy is in Black hands, then the South African economy becomes a truly African economy that reflects the demographics of our society.
Having touched on the historic purpose of BBBEE as a model in South Africa, notably would be the contention that it's just simply not enough as the data has been reported. And my next question really centers around whether this is a matter that could and justifiably used as a political tool as we head to the 2024 elections.
The truth is that we've got to confront the truth in South Africa. We've got to confront the reality that there are large sections of our populations that do not have a stake in the economy, and that even those who do have a stake, sometimes that stake is too small, and sometimes it is tenuous. As it were, because of the vagaries of the market and so on. So yes, it's a process. Transformation is a process. It's not going to happen overnight. We've got to do it, and we've opted to do it in accordance with the rules, in accordance with the principles of how business actually works. These shares are not for free. Often the shareholder, Black shareholders have to get money, loan money, to pay for them. But the needle is shifting. The needle is shifting on many accounts, as it were. You say it's being used as a political tool. I don't know what that means, because the period where certain high-profile, politically connected individuals were invited to shareholders, that era is gone. The kind of empowerment that we're seeing is based on the merits of the enterprise, the entrepreneurs and business people who want to be involved, who want to participate. They're not just silent shareholders, as it were. That is where we go. We call them the black industrialists. They are actually at the forefront of innovation, rolling up their sleeves, being part of solving the country's fundamental socio-economic problems, including unemployment.
Let's also talk about the argument that has continuously been raised around the Commission lacking teeth when it comes to dealing with the transgressors, especially as the likes of fronting continues in this country around BBBEE and the implementation thereof.
I think that that is a scourge that the legislation has correctly criminalized. We investigate these cases of fronting. We don't have powers to prosecute directly, so we refer them to law enforcement, to the National Prosecution Agency to prosecute on our behalf. I do believe that in the next round there is room to strengthen both the sticks in the legislation, but also the carrots. I believe this is about what is morally correct. You cannot have a situation where there is a few that happens to be largely white that owns so much, and then the rest of society is on the margins, eking a living and very difficult. That is not sustainable. So it's in our self-interest, and of course there are enlightened businesses, large businesses who recognize that, who recognize that something has to give for South Africa to be an inclusive society with social justice, where nobody's left behind unduly, as it were. So it is about doing it for its own sake, doing it for the moral imperative of correcting. We inherited a country where we said South Africa belongs to all who live in it, and that we will share in the prosperity. We will contribute, all of us, contribute to the prosperity of the country, because with a kind of extreme, we have the reputation, disreputation, I would say, of being the most unequal country in the world. Now, in that inequality lies all kinds of social ills. We shouldn't be surprised with the levels of crime, because there are people who don't know where their next meal is going to come from. We have a country that is well endowed. It's a developing country. It will grow faster if we are deliberate in making sure more and more people are included as entrepreneurs who create jobs, who build businesses, and as professionals who are able to sell their skills properly and on merit, as it were.
Thank you so much for your input, Commissioner at the BBBEE Commission, Tshediso Matona, there talking to us about the progress made so far within the South African democracy as we head towards the 2024 elections.